Fort Drum will get a new commanding general. Exactly when, we're not told. The Army says that Major General Scott Nauman has been named commanding general of the 10th Mountain Division and Fort Drum. Right now, he's Deputy Chief of Staff at Army Forces Command at Fort Liberty, North Carolina. Nauman will replace Major General Gregory Anderson, who has commanded the post and division since June 2022. Now, this won't be Nauman's first stint at Fort Drum. Previously, he was a colonel commanding the 1st Brigade Combat Team and was also the division's chief of staff.